Hi, this is a sermon titled Where is God in My Stroke? And I'm recording this uh, based on Roman 8:28, which says, all things to work together for the benefit or for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his pleasure or purpose. Uh, a stroke obviously could be considered a devastating situation. I had it in April 9, which is about 6 months ago, and it could be considered a disaster for someone like me who was a worship leader, uh, sometimes a musician playing keyboard, piano, and especially accordion, which is my original instrument. And of course, I was also asked by the pastor to sometimes bring the message. And for someone who's all these things all of a sudden stopped because I'm right handed and writing and playing instruments, and of course, my talk was affected by my stroke. I lost the ability to talk for a few months. Nobody understood what I was saying or I was trying to say. I was in the hospital on my back, and no other position. Basically, I was stuck in the same position all the time. And um, the reason for this stroke, some people say because I had a brain, um, I had some blood condition in my left brain. I have since learned to type and write and play with my left hand. You can see my talking, it's no, but it is understandable. Of course, by itself is a great achievement to all of a sudden use the um, left hand to play music, to write, and to do most of, actually all of my work is done by left hand. My right hand is still completely immobile. After the stroke, I was moved to lower. After I came from hospital, I was moved to the lower floor, to the basement of my house. And uh, I have lost, of course, that's one of the good things. I have lost close to 40 pounds. And I am bound to a wheelchair. And wheelchair is all I use for mobility, although I have learned to walk with a quad cane. But of course, even that is improving and is very, very slow. But in all of these conditions, everyone tells me, you seem to have a positive outlook and you seem to be even happy. Some people tell me that you're happy in this condition because you get a lot of attention. Some people tell me it's not good to be happy with this condition because you cannot improve. But I think the reason for my happiness is that I have faith in God. In Bible, it says God is love, and I fully trust Him that this condition has been allowed for a purpose by God. Faith in God has brought hope to me. And in this situation, hope is the key word. Another fact is that there is a purpose in everything once you believe in God. And although we don't know the purpose of this situation, but overall, God has a purpose. And maybe I would never be able to bring my diabetes under control, which is now fully controllable right now. Before the stroke, I was ranging 600, 700, even higher than any device could measure on my blood sugar. But right now I average 150, which is acceptable for my height and weight. Suffering in Christianity is something that even Jesus, which is the Lord of our faith, has experienced. He is known as a suffering servant. And I believe that he has suffered for such a great purpose. And there is purpose in suffering if God allows, of course, and you believe in Him. Bible says God doesn't allow anyone to suffer more than what they are capable of handling. But He will never make us bear more than what we can handle. So He only gives us enough. And He always provides a way for us to escape this suffering. This is mentioned in 1 Corinthians 10:13. There are many verses I could bring here. I don't recite all the verses. One of them is Philippians 3:10. The other one, Hebrews 4:14 through 16. And 1 Peter 2:19 to 12:21. Philippians 3:10 also deals with that. He says, Philippians 3:10 says, I endure this so I know the Lord, who is, and the power of his resurrection, and the fellowship of his suffering, to be confirmed to himself. Maybe many other verses like Hebrews 4:14 through 16 and 1 Peter 2:19 to 21. I also know that this verse applies to me. 2 Corinthians 12:9. My grace is sufficient for you, for my purpose is made perfect in your weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about weaknesses, so that Christ's power of resurrection will rest on me. This was a short message for the purpose of this is the first time really I started a sermon using my limitations. Thank you.